Your margins are bleeding, and I see 3 areas to slash costs, starting with your pay." The man in the sharp suit tapped his tablet, his voice cold and clipped. I sat across the desk, stunned, as Marcus Tate, the new regional director from Apex Veterinary Group, announced that my 15 years at Willow Creek Animal Clinic were now worth 60% of my salary. "Nothing personal, Dr. Ellis," he said, flashing a rehearsed smile. "Just aligning with market standards. My name is Sarah Ellis, 42, and I've poured my life into the animals and people of Asheville, North Carolina. This clinic wasn't just a job, it was my home, my legacy." But as Marcus droned on about efficiencies, I felt a fire ignite inside me. This wasn't just about a paycheck. It was about everything we'd built, and I wasn't letting it crumble without a fight. I took a steadying breath. "When does this start?" Marcus didn't look up from his tablet. "Next pay cycle. Decision by Friday." When Dr. Clara Monroe, the clinic's founder, sold to Apex and retired, she'd promised they'd honor our values. "They know what makes this place special," she'd said at her farewell party, her eyes misty. Now, barely a month later, I faced a choice: accept a gutted salary or walk away from the clinic where I'd grown from a nervous vet school grad to the heart of a community. "I'll let you know by Friday," I said, standing. Marcus nodded, already distracted. Outside his office, I paused at the front desk where Linda, our receptionist of 10 years, was checking in a client. Her tight expression told me she'd gotten the same news. "You too?" I whispered. She nodded. 35% cut, fewer hours. "You?" 60%, I said. We glanced at the waiting room, a Labrador wagging beside a young couple, a grandma cradling her parakeet, a kid with a hamster cage. "What now?" Linda asked. I didn't have an answer, but a resolve was forming. This wasn't just about us. It was about them, the families and pets who trusted us. Willow Creek was more than a clinic. It was where I'd vaccinated kittens, who later became senior cats I helped cross the Rainbow Bridge. I'd stayed late for emergencies, sent handwritten notes after losses, and cheered recoveries. My phone was in dozens of family contacts as Dr. Sarah for after-hours crises. My fridge was plastered with kids' drawings of their pets I'd saved. These weren't clients. They were bonds. Over lunch the next day, I asked our newest vet, Ryan, 33, about his time at a corporate practice in Raleigh. "You worked with Apex before, right?" He grimaced. 2 years, same playbook, cut costs, push efficiency, then upsell, care becomes secondary. "Quality?" I pressed. "Numbers," he said. "Patients per hour, service add-ons, revenue targets." I left when they pushed unnecessary blood work to hit quotas. That afternoon, between appointments, I called Dr. Monroe. She'd retired to a mountain cabin, trading stethoscopes for gardening. "Sarah, I'm so sorry," she said, voice heavy. "They swore they'd keep the clinic's heart. I'd never have sold if I'd known." "Not your fault," I said, "but I'm thinking of opening my own practice." Silence then. "Do it. You've got the skills, the trust. Asheville needs a place like that." Her words lit a spark. Later, as I examined Daisy, a 12-year-old spaniel I'd treated since puppyhood, her owner, Mrs. Carter, said, "You're the only one Daisy trusts, Dr. Sarah." That's when it hit me. This wasn't just about my career. It was about preserving something rare. By Friday, I'd spent nights researching loans, leases, and equipment. I'd called 2 vet friends who'd started their own clinics. The idea felt daunting but right. At 9 a.m., I knocked on Marcus's door. He was on a video call, barely glancing up. "Decision?" he asked, ending the call. I handed him an envelope. My 2 weeks' notice. His composure cracked. "Quitting. Over a market adjustment? You're a senior vet." "I'm pursuing an opportunity," I said. "I'm giving notice to ensure my patients' care." He leaned back, skeptical. "Joining another practice?" "Something like that," I said, keeping it vague. He shrugged, grabbing the letter. "HR will handle your exit." The news spread fast. By noon, Linda, our head tech, Emma, and Ryan cornered me. "Is it true?" Linda asked by the supply closet. "Yes," I said. "Last day's in 2 weeks." "What's next?" Emma pressed. I trusted them. "I'm opening my own clinic on River Road." Their eyes lit up. "Really?" Linda whispered. "That's bold." Ryan grinned. "Count me in for whatever you're planning." Emma nodded. "Me too." That night at my kitchen table, I sketched plans, staffing, costs, timelines. My phone pinged. Emma. Whatever you're doing, I'm on board. As I left the clinic, Mrs. Larson stopped me in the lot, her corgi, Max, at her side. Heard you're leaving, she said, worried. Where to? Max needs you. I'll let you know soon, I promised, her loyalty fueling me. This wasn't just a job. It was a community. And Apex had underestimated its strength. The next 2 weeks were tense. I kept up my usual care, but Marcus loomed, clipboard in hand, noting efficiency gaps. He scheduled an exit interview and sent daily emails about my non-solicitation clause, which my lawyer friend said was unenforceable in North Carolina. Unknown to Marcus, I'd signed a lease on a former dental office 5 miles away. Perfect for a clinic. I'd secured a loan from my longtime bank and deals from suppliers tired of Apex's tactics. We back independence, one rep said over coffee. Apex cuts corners. I stayed quiet at work, but clients sensed change. Where's your new place? Mr. Hayes asked while I checked his cat's teeth. Nothing set yet, I said, wary of Apex's new quality mics in exam rooms. Each client's trust, Mrs. Gomez with her chihuahua, the Lees with their rabbit, hardened my resolve. On Wednesday, Marcus called me in, his cool demeanor now edged with irritation. Clients keep asking about you, he said. Remind me of your contract. I know my terms, I said. I've said I have no plans to share. He tapped his pen. Apex invested heavily here. We won't tolerate interference. I'm focused on my patients, I said. He softened. We could revisit your pay. Maybe we moved too fast. Too late. My vision for Riverstone Animal. Hospital was real. Lease signed, equipment ordered. Thanks, but I'm set, I said. That afternoon, Linda slipped me a note. 25 clients called asking about you. When you need a receptionist, I'm first. That night, I met Ryan and Emma at a diner far from the clinic. Riverstone opens in 6 weeks on River Road, I said. I need a vet and a lead tech who care about animals over profits. They didn't hesitate. I'm in, Ryan said. Emma nodded. Same. My team was forming, but Apex was about to push me harder than I expected. My second to last day brought a shock. A break room memo announced a 35% fee hike. Vaccines from $40 to $60, dental cleanings from $250 to $350. Worse, new care bundles pushed unneeded tests, like $500 wellness panels for healthy pets. They're shameless, whispered Tara, a new tech, as we prepped for appointments. Dr. Klein's pushing these on everyone. My heart sank during Mrs. Powell's visit with her arthritic cat, Whiskers. Apex's rules demanded I recommend a $450 panel we'd done 3 months ago. Is this necessary? Mrs. Powell asked, her fixed income stretched thin. Protocol says yes, I said carefully, but Whiskers' last results were fine. We could wait. She sighed, relieved, but Marcus burst in, all smiles. Mrs. Powell, I'm Marcus Tate, Regional Director. Let's get Whiskers that wellness. Panel. Early detection's key. He dangled a discount, still double the fair price. Mrs. Powell, guilted, agreed, her hands trembling as she paid. After, Marcus cornered me. Support the protocols, Dr. Ellis. Your attachment to clients isn't professional. Attachment? I shot back, low. It's trust. It's why this clinic matters. He smirked. Good thing we only deal with that one more day. That evening, I checked Whiskers' file and froze. A note read, patient reassigned to Dr. Klein. Dr. Ellis no longer primary. Dozens of my patients had the same. Apex was erasing me before I'd left. At 3 a.m., I emailed my lawyer. Need to open ASAP. Can we do 2 weeks? She replied, with. Rentals and hustle, yes. Call tomorrow. My plan to exit quietly was dead. Apex's greed changed the game. My last day felt like a farewell to a life. Staff hugged me, some tearing up. My schedule was light. 4 appointments, the rest blocked for transition. Marcus cleared your day, Linda said. At noon, he called me to a conference room. Instead of a standard exit, I faced Marcus, Apex's regional counsel, and an HR rep. We hear you're planning a competing practice, Marcus said, voice icy. The lawyer slid over a cease and desist. No veterinary practice within 25 miles for 1 year? I didn't flinch. I didn't sign a non-compete. I said, pulling my file. My lawyer checked. North Carolina limits these for vets when patient care's at stake. Marcus's jaw tightened. The lawyer faltered. We're ensuring client continuity, Marcus said. Your clients, I corrected. The HR rep tried to smooth things. Maybe a compromise? 2 hours later, we agreed. I wouldn't solicit clients for 30 days. Apex dropped location restrictions. I left Willow Creek, keys turned in, heart full of purpose. As I drove out, Linda texted, overheard Marcus to corporate. She's one vet. How much damage can she do? I replied, let's see. Riverstone Animal Hospital opened 16 days later. The timeline was brutal. Temporary equipment, long nights, a bare-bones crew. Ryan joined as my second vet, Emma as lead tech after Apex cut her hours. Linda quit the day we installed our front desk, citing Apex's toxic environment. Our soft opening was for testing, but at 8:40 a.m., I saw a line of people and pets snaking down the sidewalk. Did you call them? Ryan asked, stunned. Just a few with urgent cases, I said. Linda grinned. Word travels. Clients flooded in. Mrs. Carter with Daisy, the Nguyens with their guinea pig, Mr. Walsh with his tortoise. Saw it on the community page, Mrs. Carter said. No one's missing this. By noon, we'd registered 80 pets. By close, 150. We're following you, Mr. Walsh said, handing me a card signed by his kids. Cookies, cards, even pizza arrived from grateful families. That night, a former Willow Creek tech texted, emergency meeting at Apex, schedule's empty. Our first month was a whirlwind. We hired more staff, extended hours, and hit 900 pets, 75% of Willow Creek's old base. We barely advertised. Clients found us via word of mouth and social media. Pet groups are raving, a client said, her puppy squirming. You took on the corporate giant. I hadn't meant to be a rebel, but the story stuck. Our transparent fees and tailored care stood out against Apex's gouging. 3 months in, Dr. Monroe visited. You've built something extraordinary, Sarah, she said, touring Riverstone. I should have offered you Willow Creek. It worked out, I said. Later, Marcus emailed, requesting a veterinary landscape meeting. I replied, Tuesday, 2 p.m., just business. Looking at Riverstone, buzzing with wagging tails, purring cats, and a team I trusted. I knew this wasn't revenge. It was purpose. Apex thought they could break us, but they only pushed me to create where I was meant to be. For every pet, every family, every bond we saved, that was the victory.